Well, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to live Day 3 action from the Hanwha Classic, the third major championship of the 2023 season, where the cut line saw only 61 players progress on to the weekend stages of this championship. The 2021 champion safely amongst them, Lee Dayon. Round of the week, the low round of Friday, a 67 that got her right back into the title picture. This is the lady who leads your championship right now, An Song-yi. Really good round of 69 yesterday for the one-time KLPGA Tour winner. Played herself into the final group alongside Park Min-ji and Jun Yi-sung. Tim Pillow here, wonderful to have your company. Some great golf this Saturday at Jade Palace. Jung Yun-ji, we know that she was going to be there. These major championship setups really do look very good for a golf game. Cho Ayan, the 2019 Rookie of the Year, going to drop a shot at the 9th as she heads to the turn at even par. Still 2 under, only 4 shots back, very much in the picture. So a lot of Jenny Shin in our coverage Friday afternoon. It's a bit of a yo-yo round for her, birdies and bogeys. And, well, that's just under hit. I think that got a lot closer than she thought it was going to. She'll head to the turn 1 under par for the championship. It's an upgraded prize purse this week for the Hanwha Classic in 2023. It's up 300 million won, the prize purse, to 1.7 billion, making it the richest event of the season. This is Yun-ji to start her back 9. Really poor putt there. Never gave it a chance, but she's only 2 shots back. Has enjoyed a very consistent season. This looks like Kim Soo-ji, last year's Player of the Year. That one's just a little wide. She knows what it's like to win one of these KLPGA major championships. Won the Hype Jinro at Blue Heron, the season 21. And just going to brush this one in for her par. And a rock solid Saturday's work for Yun-ji so far. Picked up a couple birdies and is just steadily making her way up that leaderboard. Now Dayon, now a 3-time KLPGA major champion, picked up the KLPGA championship earlier this year at Lakewood. That's not going to go. Dayon going to give up a shot, drop back to where she began the weekend at 3 under par. Expecting some very good golf being played this afternoon at Jade Palace. We had plenty of weather issues earlier in the week. A bit of rain on Thursday saturated the golf course, but it's drying out nicely and it's becoming a real test for these players, and that's with the rough down and the wind not up yet. Sung Yoo-jin's had a bit of a difficult day and it's not going to get any easier. That birdie putt just drifting by the high side. This year's Doosan Match Play champion. First look of the day at Jun Yi-sung, the Ever Collagen Queen's Crown winner from 2021. Only title she's won on tour. .43 left into this left hole location at the 8. She's got 7-iron in hand. And is that going to release on? It's going to try. Not too bad. Minji. It's been a bit of a slow day for the overnight leader. Got a couple shots. No birdies yet recorded for Minji, but she has time. Dion, that round bunker in the middle of the fairway. That's your target line on this ninth. She's swinging the club very nicely. Dion always had such an efficient golf swing. Yeah. Has had one or two problems with injuries through the years. Now, Ansongi, your championship leader, last to go into the eighth, this 33-year-old. She's got it on the string. That's another perler of an iron shot straight at the flagstick. She's feeling nervous. She's not showing it. Ansongi leads by one midway through this third round at Jade Palace. She's already picked up a pair of wins this season. Im Jin-hee. 10th is drivable, but it just looks like she's going to play this the conventional way. Out with the 3-wood, looking well out to the left. It's a pretty wide landing zone. She has one of the best wedge games, if not the best wedge game on the KLPGA Tour, so unsurprising decision that she choose to lean on that strength to try and create an opportunity for herself at the start of this inward half. The east and west courses used here at Jade Palace for the week, and a couple of high fives for any kids out there to watch some of the best on the KLPGA Tour. Jenny Shin obliging with some autographs mid-round. Really is a wonderful setup here at Jade Palace in Chuncheon. It's a very picturesque golf club and a wonderful vista at 10th tee when you look out over the back nine. Now back to 8, Jun Yi-sung. Yes, in and around it goes, and well, with that monster putt, we've now got co-leaders. Picks up his second birdie of the day. She'll move alongside An Song-yi, 6 under par. Park Min-ji would have had the perfect line read watching Jun Yi-sung's putt. She could do with one to drop herself. Oh, not to be, and oh goodness me, that's gone skating on. Never easy sleeping on the lead. Had to do it 2 nights in a row now. Co-leader with Thailand's Atia Titikun on day 1, solo leader at the halfway stage. Dion in the middle of the fairway at the 9th. Well played shot. So he should go a little bit to her left. Maybe about a foot outside the right edge. Just see how much that swung from right across the face of the cup, but it's another steady 2-putt par. But she has company at the top of the leaderboard. Two-time winner last season, Cho Ayan. Yet, he factored on the weekends in 2023. A bit of a poor tee shot to miss this fairway with only a hybrid in hand at the 10th. Watch this one release. It's going to go chasing along, and that's pretty special. Oh! Gave the hole a scare and just cling on to the back edge. That's a good, clever shot from 2019 Rookie of the Year. Wow. A testy comebacker for par. Oh no. A mistake she could ill afford to make. Already sliding backwards with a couple of bogeys. She's going to add another one to the card on 8. And it's been a very different Park Min-ji this weekend, at least of the first 8 holes. Even with as much spin as In Jin Hee generates, you will need to land this one. Good 15 feet short. Expect a big first bounce. And a tough day for the now 4-time KLPGA Tour winner. Give yourself an outside chance for birdie at 10 as we go back to the 9th tee and your new co-leader, Jun Yi-sung. It took her 237 starts to win her first KLPGA Tour title, her only KLPGA Tour title at the SK Networks Championship back in 2019. And here she is in 2023 contending for what would be a life-changing victory and a major title. An Sung-hee steps up onto the 9th tee Saturday afternoon in a share of the lead. She doesn't look like she's backing down. Straight over that corner. Side of the golf course, Kim Soo-ji Looking up the hill to get herself within one. Oh, it's tracking. Jenny Shin that one to tumble on nicely. Pretty well played. Crafted herself a nice look at the ninth, but just a little wide of target there. Just going to be working its way down the hill if it gets to that downslope. It's not stone dead. Saw with Chua-Yan's ball at last 4 or 5 feet around the hole. Starts to work downhill towards the back edge of the green. Maybe it just spooked him, Jinhee, a fraction. Pin on 9, pretty much in the middle of the green, but there's a big old slope that generally influences the ball from right to left once you do get to the putting surface. So a lot of players electing to start it so between the flag and the right edge of the green, have it running along towards the pin that way. Just gives you a little bit of room for error. But as far as hole locations on 9 here go, it's not a bad one if you want trying to attack. ENG will take anything right now. No birdies yet on the day. The lady who's won 18 KLPGA Tour titles, and 14 of them have come in the last 2.5 years. He has been the dominant force of the Korean Ladies Tour to return from the COVID pandemic. Jenny Sung will have first crack. That pin there just cut on the left edge of the TV tower, so it gives her a good line to aim at. Just on the left edge. No breeze to speak of with a 7-iron for Jun. She'll take that slope, starts to come around. Beautiful shot. Ayan coming back up the hill from left to right for birdie at 10. Oh dear, never up, never in. Now Minji only works it right to left. She gets this to land about 10 feet short and maybe 8 feet right of this hole. It's easy for her to get this close. Just a little deep, and that's the problem. It's going to go releasing on. It's not a bad shot for Minji. Going to work its way off that back slope. Not too bad. She'll give herself a chance. Some massive tee shot here. Longest hitter in this group by far. She's got a slight downhill lie to deal with here, which usually drops the trajectory of the ball flight a little bit. And she got that one up in the air quite quickly. Too quickly, it just sticks. And that's going to slowly work its way back down towards the front fringe of the green. Just needed maybe 3-4 paces more. Now Jenny Shin ahead at the 10th. Yeah, well done. Just tickles that one in for a birdie. Balances her books for the day.
I've seen a few pins cut this week that I don't think have ever been before.
Suji. And look out to the left with a hybrid to start the back nine. Important to find this fairway, and she does. See too many players taking on the green, particularly with this back right hole location on 10 today. Called the final round of a dramatic duo with Park Ju-young in 2021. Lee Da-yeon chipped it in from the left edge of the green for what would be a clinching eagle. Just gave her a little bit of separation back then on the 10th. It's a very different beast today. And firm and fast, and a much more tucked pin for today's third round, but that's a nicely played tee shot for Da-yeon. Going to be a slow putt this for An Song-yi as she works her way up that little mini false front, we'll call it. Once it gets to that point where she was standing a couple of seconds ago, it's going to flatten out and start to make its way from right to left. At first glance, it should be a fairly easy putt for her to negotiate pace-wise. Sort of just uphill all the way, not really going to go up and over any hills. And optically, putts that break towards you. So in somebody's case, for a right-handed golfer, a putt that goes right to left. Much more visually appeasing putts that break away from you. It's not the easiest putt to hole, but certainly not the hardest one to two-putt out there. Yeah, pretty well managed. But that's just got enough on it for something to think about. So she'll put a spot on that one. Park Min-ji fan, you know, all she needs is just a little spark, just a little pep in her step. She's looked a little flat so far today. That was one of her 3 bogeys she's made today. It was a second shot into the fourth and right into the thick stuff. And she did well to get up and down for that bogey 6. And there was another drop shot hit at 5. Just looked a little untidy, Park Min-ji, and well, we thought this was going to scare the hole and at very worst be a comfortable 2-putt, but that was headed along with some pace, and unfortunately for Park Min-ji, a 3-putt would lead to a bogey, but a chance to right some of those wrongs here on 9 for a birdie to get it back within 2. Just not dropping this Saturday for Park Min-ji. It was a good roll. She'll head to the turn in 39 without the birdie on the card. Good for Jung Yi-sung, who just rolled in a putt of about 3 times this length back on 8. Giving herself a great look to take a 1-shot lead to the 10th tee this Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a little slippery. I don't see too much break in this, and sometimes with these downhill putts, it's hard to pick out break. Think of a mountain. You're standing on the top of it looking down, you pick out much less detail in that mountain, the slope of the mountain, than if you were at the base looking back up. Food for thought next time you're trying to read a putt in your weekend game. Well, she sits at the summit of the leaderboard right now. Jung Yi-sung, back-to-back birdies. Moves 1 clear at 7 under par and assumes control of the Hanwha Classic. Kim Hyun-hee alongside Kim Soo-ji, who plays a nice shot there into 10. Currently 1 under par. Chance to get to 2. This is just a little bit of a tiddler for Sung-yi. First real tester she's had. Got to start this maybe just on the left edge, outside left, and tickle it in over the front edge. Well, she played that with pace. This gives you a sign of the confidence she is exuding right now. She's been caught, she's been surpassed, but she's playing nicely. Turns in 34. Suji. Just a 1 hop and stop. Or just pitch that into that slight upslope and it spins it back away from the hole, but it's not too bad. Last to go, Dion. It's going to be a big lob wedge from 78 meters. It was the right club. Excellent shot. Gets it into that little pocket of green. It's a great start to a fantastic 9 holes of golf. This downhill par 4-10. 302 meters on the card, but it plays much shorter than that from the severely elevated tee box. About 20 meters of elevation. You're going to see a lot of players lay up today. It's a pretty generous landing spot. Those 3 greenside bunkers should really come into play, and that's pretty much because of the pin position. It's all the way tucked in the back right corner of the green. Drive off the tee, a gamble many unwilling to take. They deem it unnecessary of this risk-reward drivable par 4. Do like a short drivable par 4. Expect all 3 players in this group to just try to leave themselves wedge shots of between 70 to 90 meters. The first couple of days we saw Bang Shin-sil had an excellent tee shot, gave herself about 25 feet for eagle. Fatia Titikun yesterday comfortably drove it pin high. Went on to 2-putt for her birdie as well. Suji just coming up this little rise, but last couple of feet, this putt should be a little bit speedy. It'll certainly get her attention. Didn't really come back for Suji, but no harm done with a par at 10. Appears the final group perhaps are waiting back on 10T because he putted out a 9 about 8 minutes ago. Still haven't seen a shot from them. To get herself back to 2 under par. Should go a little left. This putt for Kim. And she hit it. As she hit it. Oh, goodness. Jump up ahead to Jong Yun Ji at the 12th. Third shot to this par 5. It's okay. Certainly wasn't her best effort from 69 meters. Final group this Saturday afternoon, leading back on 10th tee to start their back 9. It'll be the championship leader who lead us away with a 3-wood. Dion. Very good birdie look here at 10. Can she capitalize? No, she can't. And, whoa. See, that's the danger. A couple of players come up shy with putts from a little bit further out. Just get it racing with a bit too much pace. You can have a knee-knocking comeback as Ansung Yi. Looks like it's a hybrid for An. See lots of room out to the left. Some elevated tees, yeah, you do get a bit more distance, but your ball just spends a touch more time in the air. So if it's offline, it's got more time to go even further offline. But she's been in good control of the golf ball today. One way to keep your cool. It's quite a balmy day out in Chuncheon. See a couple of players out with ice packs. Lots of hydration required. Park Min-ji be pretty hot under the collar after that poor front 9. There are opportunities to make amends. on this inward half. Spun all the way off the front of the green for Jung Yun-ji at 12, and that's got to settle down. Okay, pretty well judged. Should escape with her part. Suji back on 11. So you can just see the par 5 12 green just behind her. Past this 11th hole, 393 meters, all of it uphill. Got to send a good one away. And she's leaning like she might have pushed that a fraction. I think I saw that come down between the path and the trees. And that's okay, she might have gotten away with it. Next to play the biggest stage that she's played on. A strong left-hand grip. Pretty shut club face at the top of the backswing. She'll snatch that tee up quickly. Satisfied with that. It's going to be okay. Dion. These are white tee shots right in 11. This hole does work its way from left to right. It looks like it's just found some of the thicker rough for Lee. A bit of a mistake for Jenny Sung missing the fairway here at 10, but she can play a similar shot to what Cho Ayan displayed earlier. Just land at the front third, have it chase out. Didn't quite get a big of a kick as Cho's, and that's going to go releasing off into that small collection area. She'll have that little hump to contend with. It's another green regulation for your championship leader, Jenny Sung. Minji, you can see that. How severe that hump is, just to the right of the pin. That's what Jenny Sung's got to putt over. Minji got to look a little left. No, sticks it quick, and that's going to just work its way back a smidge. It's not bad, but it's not really the birdie opportunity that she was hoping for. Last to go, Song Yi. Looks like she's drawn a slight uphill lie, which does help get the ball in the air a little quicker. Should get this one to top fairly quickly. Can throw it far enough up the green. So, a couple of indifferent shots from inside 100 meters for the final group of the day. As we've hit the back nine Saturday afternoon at the Hanwha Classic, and a pair of birdies at 8 and 9 see the name of Jun Yi-sung move to the top of the leaderboard. She's one shot clear of An Song-yi. I've seen this putt a couple of times today. That's been a popular section of this 10th green. See if Han Sung-yi can get her speed right. This for birdie. Oh, grabbed a piece of it, but oh, no, no, no. It was running along, and it's going to be another tester for par. Suji with a right rough here at 11. Hear the bounce, you can see how firm they're playing these greens. She's on the dance floor, but it's not exactly where the band is playing. It makes such a difference when you're playing out of the fairway versus coming out of the rough, as Chun Yi-sung now looks to negotiate this slope at 10. Okay, yeah, good pace on that. That's what you love to see when you're leading a championship. Stress-free pars. Dion. Should get this one to stop a little bit quicker than Suji's. No, gets it to stick. Lovely shot. Great distance control. Park Min-ji was paying attention because she's hit a couple of speedy putts today. Don't want this one to be traveling at the hole with too much pace. Yeah, touch tentative, but you can understand. To the demanding par 3, Jung Yoon-ji. The hill at 13. Just unlucky pitches on a slight downslope, but that's okay. Maybe a quick chip, but something she should be able to negotiate with relative ease. Now, an important putt for Song-yi. Hasn't dropped a shot today. Don't want to start doing them now. This for par. Dear. So 3-putt bogey. And Chun Yi-sung a 2-shot cushion. Suji, long putt for putt birdie. At 11, be content with a 2-putt from here. Up that rise and comes back down towards the hole, gathering pace. Okay. Yeah, pretty well judged. Chun Yi-sung leads by 2 at 7 under par. See if Dion can steady herself after that 3-stab. That's a lovely bounce back for Lee Dion. Wonderful 3 at the 11th. She'll get herself back up to 3 under par. Have a look at this 393-meter par 4 11th. You have a slightly elevated tee shot, but you gently start to work your way up the hill here. 3 bunkers in the distance. Your ideal lines in between the second and third. Can't see the green from the tee as it snakes around these trees. Second shot plays just a touch uphill. See the pin cut in that front right section of the green today on the lower level of this 2-tiered green. to this dogleg. That's ideal. Left half of the fairway for somebody who's comfortably been the longest hitter in this final three ball. And they're playing ready golf, which is always good to see. It does help speed up the game. It takes too long these days to play golf. Sun. Looks like she's using the right side of the tee, and that's another good little pro tip. Open up the landing area a little bit more. Use the whole tee box to your advantage. And the fairway safely found for the leader. Didn't look best pleased with that, but I think she's gotten away with it. Just come off the toe of the club, and it looks like it's plumb onto the left edge of the fairway for Park Min-ji. Just gone racing past a touch for ENG, but it'll be okay. Chipping from the front of 12 for Jenny Shin. The players, the yardage is just a little wrong. Maybe that was a touch toey for Jenny Shin. So work to be done for her part at this par 5. Steep pitch at the front edge of the 12th green, so we don't quite carry its full distance. It'll come back off the front like Yunji and, well, now Jenny Shin. So 3 good tee shots for the leaders. Back at 11, it'll be the leader, Jenny Sung, to go. Not too much breeze out at Jade Palace for the 2.5 days that we've been here. Just one less factor for these girls to work out. Should look a little bit left of this pin. Ideally try and hit a slight left to right ball flight to try and get close to it, but really she'll take anything pin high left. That's a little right, but doesn't look like it's going to be the most problematic up and down in the world for Chen Yi-sung. Just a little sand caught in the sock and shoe. Now Minji just caught the left edge of the fairway. It makes a big difference. I'm trying to get to some of these tucked pin positions. And she has looked out of sorts on Saturday. Poor contact, nowhere near her target. She has been struggling, Park Min-ji. Now, Cho Ah-yan ahead at 12. This is a birdie opportunity, albeit from a good 35 feet away. Yeah, pretty good for pace. I'll happily take that. Slight opening for Song Yi if she can grasp it. Oh, that's a fine shot. Just giving herself a look. The only player to hit the screen in regulation amongst these three ladies. Now, Lee Ye-won has been putting together a very fine day. She's 4 under par on the card. So this to get to 6 under for the tournament. 5 under for the day, excuse me. Oh, just a touch high, just a touch firm, but he's making the most of moving date. Low round on the course by far. Last year's Rookie of the Year, and last year's Player of the Year, Kim Soo-ji. Chop one down the fairway at 12. Jenny Shin to save par ahead at the green. Very nicely holed. Been a bit messy, but it's a 5 on the card. Yeah, one in for a par at 16. Just coming out the rough, she'll need to land this just short of the green and the fringe, you feel, have it tumble on. It looks like she's judged that nicely. Pretty well played shot for Park Min-ji. Dye up, coming up the hill now. Just looking to leave this one with a nice yardage. Ooh, one-handed follow through, and it's a bit of a mistake, missing the fairway with the layup. Jenny Shin at 13. Probably the best shot of the day you're going to see into this par 3. beautifully judged for distance by Jenny. You've got to keep some good acceleration out of this thick greenside rough for Jenny Sung. I know it's a short shot. You got the club face wide open, almost play it like a mini bunker shot. Sort of pop it out and have it release. Pretty well played. Ayan, can she follow in? Jenny is coming in from right to left. Needs a soft bounce. Just up and through the green. To claw back a shot on Sung-Yi. Good effort. Just slides by the left edge. To 14. ENG. It's another long par 4 that plays uphill. And that's a beautiful shot from Jong. Can't afford to let any more shots slip away this difficult day for Park Min-ji. Just to avoid a fourth drop shot of her round. Yeah, very nicely held. Good up and down there. He's grinding hard out there, the 18-time winner. That's a very poor layup for Lee Jae-yeon. Gotta watch that false front. Make sure she gets this past the pin, if anything. Yeah, manages that well, but really coming out of the rough, had no option to take a direct line and attack the flag. It's a good, smart play. Give yourself a chance. No gimmies out here on the KLPGA Tour, particularly with a major championship on the line, but this one should just be started inside right edge with good holding pace for her par. Yeah, very well done. Good scrambling par there for Jenny Sung. Will keep her at 7 under par and ahead by 2. Yep. Hold on. Not to be a birdie, but a cast iron par for Han Sung-Yi. Keeps her at 5 under. And nothing to putt this one, Cho Ayan. Slings downhill and, ooh, lucky that got a piece of the cup. It was traveling with some pace. Slightly behind this final group, so Minji gonna go send one away down this par 5. Penultimate group already up on the green with their birdie putts. Just off the fairway there for Minji, but maybe no chance to get to this green in 2 shots, so it'll be a layup all around. It just looks a little claustrophobic back on that 12th tee, almost like the sponsors boards are a little bit too close. Almost in play, but just about enough room for Chen Yi-sung to have a full crack at this driver. Give that one a good thump, An Song-yi. There's the bounce. It's going to try trundling on down, but it's a nice flat line in the fairway. On the green, Suji. Well out right here. From right to left. Down that slope. Keep going, keep going. Shin for a rare 2 at 13. Good try. Ooh, great effort just over the top lip for Lee Dae-yeon. Doesn't drop, but a positive putt. Ji Eun-hee hasn't really been the week that she was looking for, but played very nicely yesterday, including a whole lot for Eagle that got her safely into the weekend stages. Missed the cut last week at the Hanwha Resorts Ladies Open. But she'll have 2 rounds here at Jade Palace over the weekend to try and find the form that saw her get into the top 20 in the Rolex women's rankings. At the state of affairs midway through the back 9 on Saturday, sees the name of Jun Yi-sung at the top of the leaderboard. Yi-sung up by 2 over Yewon, Yoonji and An Song-yi. Popular choice of club on 13. 176 meter par 3. So Jenny shouldn't get it close, but Dion's leaning like she's leaked that a touch right. Right edge of the green. Got a good bit of distance to cover, but it's not a bad spot to leave yourself. Have a look at how the final three have progressed up the 12th. Laying up nicely in the fairway, trying to give themselves maximum control. Come uphill to this slightly raised green. It'll be Minji first to go, and there's danger if you don't get it all the way to the pin. Seen a couple of balls back up off that false front today. I wasn't going to go messing about, straight at it. Airs on the side of caution. A good shot there for Minji. Just has to put a couple of good swings together, give herself some chances. She knows she's still in this tournament, even though she may not be leading anymore. Now out to 17. And a birdie putt. Just slips by for the former world number 1. Last year's LPGA Tour Rookie of the Year, Tia Titikun. It's a bit young group to follow. If you're not at Jade Palace today, this one, the LPGA Tour Rookie of the Year, the KLPGA Tour Rookie of the Year in Lee Won. And a drop shot there for Titikun, slips her back to 2 under. Yi-sung. She's had good tempo with her swing today. Just that little preset drill. Another fine wedge shot from Chan Yi-sung. And a look to get to 8 under par. Suji looks like a driving iron here at 13. Work one in from the right. Oh, hello. That's a stunning shot from Kim Suji. Hasn't really been able to replicate the consistency and the form that she displayed over the last 2 years on tour, but she is right up in contention this week. Songy last to go. Should be just a lob wedge. Oh, stay there. Stay there. Oh, it's going to catch the front, isn't it? A foot away from being pretty good. Now she's going to be chipping for her 4th. It's a game of fine margins, golf. th playing of the Hanwha Classic, 21st event of the season here on the KLPGA Tour. The 3rd major championship of the season. So it's a delicate little pitch shot. Carry it too far, it shoots forward. Don't carry it far enough, it could be back at your feet. It's stuck on the top of that hill. And she is making hard work of this 12th hole, the 33-year-old Song Yi. Yeah. Up ahead, Cho Yan at 14. Just came up shy with her second. Clubface fan wide open here. First bounce is going to be left. Played that as well as she could have. ENG, she opened the account for the day at 12. Just a little wide, but I'll check off another par. Across the 1 billion won season earnings mark, or single season earnings mark in each of the last 2 years. Such was the dominance she has displayed on the KLPGA Tour. It looks like Songy's going to be putting for par before Chen Yisang puts for her birdie. The caddy is indicating a point there. High point of the putt, coming downhill, and from where he was indicating, it looks like they believe they should just drift a little right. Just push that straight off the bat. You could see it. Gave it a quick peek. Club face stayed open, and that's going to be a real unforced error with only a lob wedge in hand for a third to walk off this hole with a bogey. That's going to be costly. Now Jenny Shin ahead at 14, coming downhill to start, uphill at the hole, and it will be moving from her left. The old school bump and run here from the right edge of 13. Not the bump, just needed a bit more run. To stretch the lead to 3. Just lacked a little pace. Good opportunity goes begging for Chen Yisang, but she'll happily take off a par there with 6 holes to play this Saturday afternoon. Su Ji for a deuce at the 13th. Could make it 3 players at 5 under again if this one drops. And it will. Trademark left-hand fist pump. He's back out and working again. He's been in some fine fettle this afternoon. 3 unanswered birdies, the only bogey-free round out of the last 5 groups here. Lovely stuff from Kim Soo-ji, but it's going to be another drop shot on this backside for An Song-yi. So she'll dip back to 4 under. Just a demanding par 3 this 13th, although Kim Soo-ji made pretty short work of it. guarantee you, pretty much every player in the field would happily walk off with a 3 all 4 days here. It's 176 meters up the hill. The pin today cut to the back left shelf. Dion to save a par up on the green. It's a great pendulum-like stroke. Same length back, same length through. It's a good putt. Will keep Lee Dion at 3 under. Just waiting back on the tee for Kim to tidy this one up on the green. Oh no, you have to wait a little longer. It's been a difficult day for Kim Yeon-hee. Slides back to even par with that short miss. Doesn't look like Jenny Sung's using a tee here, which surprises me. Why give yourself a good lie when you can leave yourself a perfect lie? Just trying to squeeze that off the turf with a hybrid. She knows what she's doing. That's pretty well played if it just hangs on, which it will. Yeah, hot lady on the golf course, Lee Won, coming into this closing par 5, 18th now. Just 112 meters to go, but she'll be coming out of the rough. The back pin, it's not so penal. Just have to allow for a little bit more release. You could see the club just get jammed into the rough. She made contact, a little bit of speed off it. Work to be done to post 5 under through 54 holes for year 1. Now Atea Titikun is back at 2 under par after her drop shot at the 17th. Give herself a chance to go into Sunday at 3 under. Minji quickly tries to get one chasing along on 13. Is that going to settle? Yeah, just the wrong side of that spine, but it's okay for Minji. Sung remains affixed to the top of the leaderboard. Her advantage over 3 players is still 2 shots. long birdie look upcoming for An Song-yi at the 13th. Just across the green here, almost like you're putting down a little gully where the hole's cut today. There's ample green to work with here on. Just about predicting how this ball's going to react out of the rough, and done a pretty good job of that. 6 feet left for a round of 67. Might be good enough to earn her a spot in the final group. Already 3 wins this season. One came at Jeju Island just a couple of weeks ago. It's been 2 years since her last win, but she leads by 2. Moving hard to the left, and again, dead weight on that putt. Lovely effort. Taya Titikun for a birdie to get herself up to 3 under par. Great effort from the Thai. Not to be. She'll have to settle for a 1 under par round of 71. First appearance at the Hanwha Classic. Just have a feeling it won't be her last. Minji. Another mid-range effort. She knows how much this swings from right to left. She knew it. She didn't show it there. Just a little under borrowed, but should be pretty much locked up. The other par 3 much shorter. The 15th also plays downhill. Cho Ayan gets a friendly kick off the downslope. It's going to settle up nicely about 18 feet right of the pin. Now, year one. Brilliant 67. This would match the low round of the week. Set by Lee Dai-on yesterday. Oh, that's right. Oh, he just hangs on. Well, when it's your day, it's your day. Terrific round of golf from Lee Won. A bogey-free 67. Is that enough for a spot in the final group tomorrow afternoon? You wouldn't bet against it, would you? Now, Song-yi for her par. Okay, well hold. Keeps herself at 4 under. Stayed pretty cool all day long. Generally sunk. She was in the hunt last week at the Hanwha Resort Ladies Open. Through the first couple of days, fell away a touch on the weekend, but a top 10 finish for her. Clearly playing with a lot of confidence and some good form. She leads by 2 on this 14th tee. Looks like Sung Yu Jin. A bit further up the course. That's tidy. That's very tidy. That's going to be a birdie 3. Minji back at 14. So he can afford to step on the gas pedal. But be warned, there's some pretty thick bushes on the right-hand side that gobbled up Park Ji-young's tee shot yesterday. Late Earl Woods used to tell Tiger he can swing as hard as he wants as long as he stays in balance. You look pretty balanced there, An Sung-yi. This one heading up the left-hand side. And just settle into the rough that frames that port side of the 14th fairway. Jung Yoon-ji up ahead on 16. Not quite as good as Sung Yu Jin's, but she'll happily take that. Jin Hee. A bit of a cheerless day so far, but that'll make her feel a little better. Nice birdie there on 16, taking her back to 1 over par for the tournament. Never too late to make your first birdie, I always say. Suji just chipping up short of the green. See this from Ayan's. First bounce will be left. Should get a little check on it. Pretty nicely played there from Suji, but that's a little testy side slider for her. Speaking of Cho Ayan, here she is up ahead at the par 3, 15th for birdie. It's on a good line. It's on a great line. Beautiful 2 there from Cho Ayan. 2 wins last year, coming at the Kyochon Honey Ladies Open and the Hoban Ladies Invitational. Ayan, the back of the green, starts to work its way right there. It's got to keep going. It's got to keep going. Pretty good for pace. Kyung, been a quiet day for the 2-time major champion. She's still hanging in there at 1 under par. And safely aboard with the birdie look to come at 18. Dion for her par back at 14. Okay, well done. Good two-putt. She'll stay at 3 under. Just about see the pin there, right half of the green. And here with the heavy artillery, long way back for Jung Yi-sung up the hill. It's not bad, it's a good leave there, just front edge. Give yourself an uphill right to left look. You have to take a big hack and slash at this one for Han Sung-yi. Caught a bit of a fly and that just goes through the green and, well, not making it easy on herself. Just through the back. Not green to work with, but got a couple of humps and hollows to deal with as well now. Minji. Ideally you want to try and cut one into that slope just wide of the pin, but Minji usually works it off the right. Well, that's more like it. Very fine shot. She's left herself a chance to bag a first birdie of this Saturday. Wonderful approach, yields a birdie for Sung Yoo Jin at the 16th hole. Gets back one of her 2 drop shots today. 2 even for the tournament. Jung Yun Ji playing in the same group, but a little bit further away for her birdie. Tell you what, if she could hold a putt, goodness me, how many more wins would she have on the KLPGA Tour? Yi-sung, he continues to lead the way with just a couple holes left to play on day 3. She's up by 2 at the Hanwha Classic. Eyeing this one up at 15, gets that forward kick like Cho Ayan. That's very good, and that's an excellent tee shot from a lady who knows this course well, certainly knows the feeling of winning here. Did that back in 2021. Now, Park Minji. Come on, Minji. Left edge. Good pace. Pick it out of the hole. Oh, dear. Can't get anything to go today, Minji. Unfortunately, the birdie drought continues. Young is having a fine day, a fine championship. 4 under par. Mostly plays on the KLPGA tour these days. He's playing the Golf 5 championship next week. It's another very solid North Asian circuit. Big prize money up for grabs across the North Sea as well, and that's well done. Good up and down for Chen Yi-sung, preserves her advantage. Park Hyun-kyung, level par on her day. Can't find a birdie at the last. Kim Soo-ji done an excellent tee shot. Can she get within one? Yes, she can. Beautiful birdie there for Kim Soo-ji. She moves into solo second, much like Lee Ye-won. Bogey free today. She moves within one of Chen Yi-sung. Unfortunately, bunkered off the tee. No option with that high lip to be able to reach this par 4 in regulation, so just had to splash out of the sand. ENG. Lee Min-young to go into the final round at 4 under par. Okay, well done. That's a good day's work for Min-young, 69 today. Min-kyung will have to settle for an even par 72. Steady day play. Quick start, rough. Dropping 4 shots from 7 through 9, but having another fine week. Now 3rd shot at 17 for Yunji. Finds herself in a tie for 3rd after Kim Soo-ji's birdie back at 15. She's given herself a chance to save an unlikely par after that poor tee shot. Dion for a birdie of her own, this 15th. Just here, left edge putt. It stays on the left edge. And that's tumbled on a little as well. Jenny Shin back at 16. Buries that in the middle to go to 3 under. That's a lovely birdie for Jenny. Lions come back up. Number 3 putt at 10 to start the back 9. Not going to 3 putt the 15th. She'll be disappointed to only walk off with a par after that tee shot. Clubhouse target set at 5 under par by Lee Won, courtesy of the second 67 of the week. Here at Jade Palace, Kim Soo-ji's birdie now sees her move within 1 of the lady in pink, Jun Yi-sung, who still leads the way at the Hanwha Classic at 7 under par. Front with those back-to-back birdies at 8 and 9. String of pars since we hit the backside for Yi-sung. You can just land down that downslope off the backside of the bunker on this 15th. See, players get it close. Pitch that a little too far up the green, but shouldn't be any bother. Up the back of 15. Lovely BMW SUV available for the First Lady to ace the 15th this week. Still no hole-in-ones recorded at the Hanwha Classic this year. That one wasn't far away, but the 2 will end up on the back fringe. Now Yunji for her par at 17. Oh, well done. That is a great shave. Bunkered off the tee, splashed out, and she walks off with a 4. Brilliantly done. And this is where the slight power advantage for An Song-yi can come into play. A little less club off the tee than Jen Yi-sung. A bit more loft in that club face should help it come down a touch softer. A little anxious, but he'll get a friendly kick for Suji. The 16th, right safely in the fairway. Now Jenny coming into 17 here, rehearsing. She wants to hit a bit of a cutter for 161. Well worked out there from Jenny Shin. Beautiful flight on that one. Took off a little bit lower than usual. Strong club face through the impact area. She's giving herself another birdie look as the action continues on at Jade Palace. And the sun has been steady all throughout the day. The low round of the day set by Lee Ye-won. She's in the clubhouse after a 67. Kim Soo-ji, she's bogey free and playing the 16th hole. She trails by 1. Song Yi first to go, even though she is on the green and her two playing partners are just on the fringe. Furthest away goes first. This one moves to her left. Just a touch. That's going to hang high, and oh goodness, it's still rolling. The pace has gone a little bit for Song Yi since that 3-putt at 10. She is in a world of trouble. Led the tournament by 1 at the start of our coverage. If that doesn't go, she could be trailing by 4 as we go up to Kim Soo-ji in her second. 7-iron from 136, middle of the fairway to the middle of the green. Good shot. Just pop this forward. It should all collect down to the hole, moving from the left. And that's just gone to an uncomfortable distance past. Dayon took off on a good line. She's eyeing this up intently, and for good reason. That's a fine shot, Lee Dayon. If she learned anything about the speed of this putt. Certainly has. Oh my goodness, grabs a big piece of it. That doesn't drop. Kind of sums up her day, really. She's hit some good shots. She's hit some quality putts. But she hasn't hit anything to show for it. Pretty decent pace there from the front edge of the 16th for Cho Ah-yeon. Song Yi for her par. That's going to be another 3-putt on the stats sheet. And all of a sudden, she's back at 3 under par. ENG in the middle of the fairway this time, safely aboard the green. They're at the closing par 5. Uh-oh. That's her first mistake of the back 9 for Jun Yi-sung. She's on a run of pars coming into this hole. She's going to find herself tight with Kim Soo-ji shortly. And Jenny Shin just a hole ahead. Oh, gets back-to-back birdies. One on 16 and now another on 17. Jenny Shin is going to get within 2. That drop shot's going to give hope to the chasers. Oh, goodness, Minji. That's just not what you want to see. I was just going to say she could have picked up a shot by making par, but it's going to be a 4th bogey of the day. And he once leader of this tournament falls to 2 under. And Yi-sung with a drop shot here. That means we've got co-leaders once again at the Hanwha Classic. Yi-sung and Soo-ji at 6 under par. Ye-won in the clubhouse at 5 under. Yunji's lurking, as is Jenny Shin after a pair of birdies. That's a bit of an unforced error from Jenny Sung, who's looked so solid all throughout this third round. Song Yi still has 3 holes to right the ship. 18 more tomorrow. Bogeys for all 3 players in this final group. How's Yi-Sung going to respond? Looks pretty pleased with that tee shot. And I can't see why, because that's finished in the right rough. And that too can deposit itself in the right rough for Park Min-ji, who really has been sliding down the leaderboard with some sloppy golf on Saturday. I don't think she knows it, but this is to take the outright lead for Suji at the 16th. Oh, I wasn't far off. A great roll there for Kim Soo-ji. Just a par. Dion would get things awfully interesting at the top of the leaderboard. If this one goes, this would get her within 2. It was pretty hard to her right. She's got it. Oh, beautiful putt there from Lee Daeon. Starting to come alive all of a sudden, this championship. pin cut on 16, right in that back left little, what call it, collection area, little section. And with back pins, they're not disastrous if you miss it in the rough, provided catch a decent lie. Just have to account for a little bit more release in the ball. You're going to get some grass caught between the club face and the ball, which takes spin off. That's the priority for Johnny Sung, is make sure you clear that front bunker. Land this in the front third with a mid-long iron in hand, which I imagine she's got. This one should go releasing on. Well worked out there. Drops it in the good spot. Judged the release beautifully. That's well played from Johnny Sung. Doesn't look like that three putt. That bogey has shaken her too much. Remember, still leads. So Minji coming into this weekend, a lot of people were saying that haven't been many better front runners over the last decade or so than Park Min-ji. When she gets onto a lead, she very rarely relinquishes it, but some untidy golf today has left her chasing. And that one's come out hot on her and just goes through the back. Han Sung-yi, perfect position here. Right edge of the fairway. Can try to get this back line under control again. She's dropped 3 since she hit the turn, but looks like she's going to get one of them back, because that is sparkling into this 16th for Han Sung-yi. Sung Jin. Oh, that's nicely holed. Up at 17. Good birdie there. Take her into the final round at even par. Beg your pardon, that was 18. Birdie 16, bogey 17. And a birdie to close for the match play champion of 2023. Jung Yun-ji. She's going to be in the hunt on Sunday afternoon again. Goes into Sunday at 5 under par. Good tidy round there. 69 bogey free for Jung Yun-ji. Well, kind of like the shot that Lee Sung had for herself, and I believe it was the 11th hole today. Not a lot of ground to cover, only about 25 feet past the pin here Park Min-ji, but coming out this rough, just got to make sure you keep your speed up. Easy to have this one come out dead. She's played that beautifully. Good touch from Park. Well capable of throwing in a low round, and she's going to need one tomorrow if she wants a fourth major title. Now we head to 17, and hard charging Lee Dai-on. It's another beautiful iron shot, and it's another look for birdie for Dai-on. Did the right thing, played the correct shot out of that right rough on this 16th hole. Did Jun Yi-sung. She's got a putt where she can sort of freewheel it here. You tend to see professional golfers make their fair share of these just because there's no expectation that you're going to hold them. You're not so bogged down from, say, for example, 50, 60 feet where you're thinking about speed, you're trying to nuzzle it up close. You see a lot of putts from about this 15 to 25 foot range where players go, right, I'll just give it a chance. If it doesn't go in, no bother. I'm not going to three-putt it. And as a result, sometimes when you're in that flow state or that sort of carefree state, you're playing as well as she is. Don't be surprised if this one scares the cup. This is for birdie in the outright lead once again. And in it goes, what I tell you. Brilliant bounce back from Jun Yi-sung. She moves one clear at 7 under once more. Should just be an inside left edge putt for An Sung-yi to get herself back to 4 under. Yeah, well done. It's a very nicely played iron shot. And that's a good birdie to just steady the ship a little for An Sung-yi, who's been stuck in reverse since she got to the back 9. This lady's been surging ahead. Suji coming into 17. Trademark abbreviated follow through. Oh yes, another fine iron shot. She and Lee Dai-on are really spurring each other on over the last hour, matching each other with great iron shots. A couple of good putts hold. Up to 18, and Jenny Shin's third to this par 5. There's a little preset rehearsal, trying to make sure she keeps that club in front of her, sets the wrist early, and just hack through this thick cabbage. Oh, and it looks like it's come out hot on her. Yeah, just turned it over a fraction. It's going to release through to the back edge of this green. So now back to the 17th and Minji in ready golf. Leads by one again. Chen Yi-sung with 2 to play. This third round that has been anything but dull.
Okay. Good pass.
Dion now. For a birdie to get up to 5 under. It's a comfortable looking putt. Moves from right to left. Ooh, just a little low. Good try though.
맞다.
Suji just to tie the lead to get her to 5 under on the day. Looks like it's fairly straight. Maybe if anything, just wants to creep right. Can't quite tell from this camera angle. Seen too many putts in this position on 17, although it looks like she's intending to start this one just a ball outside the right. Just didn't hit it. Just got so caught up in the line she forgot to hit it. And that's the first real tentative putt we've seen from Suji this afternoon. It's a steady par though. Still has the par 5 18th to come. Up to the par 5 18th where we find Cho Ah-yan. It's down the left side in the rough. Bit of a poor third shot to leave herself this much work to do for her fourth. Not quite as scary a shot as it would have been to yesterday's pin that was cut just over that bunker. About 40 meters to go here. Expect this one to be a little bit lower and running for Cho out of this rough. Really nicely managed, but not left for par. Dion just looking to brush this one in back at 17 for her part. Sits on the KLPGA Tour, Chen Yi-sung, but she's fairly proficient with these hybrid clubs. 64 meters left to go, and she's got to look out a little bit left of this pin. That ball slightly above her feet, which normally promotes a right to left ball flight. If she takes a direct line at this hole and doesn't cover the correct yardage, especially coming out of the rough, this could go shooting on through the back of the green. shoot on down. And yeah, just tough. Tough when you're coming out of the rough from 164. Big wide open stance, big wide open club face for Jenny Shin. And just chop the legs out from under it, try and get this up as high as she can in the air. Great touch, well played. Song Yi should be mindful of that forward kick if the miss hits this slightly. Don't really feel she can maybe land this 10 feet on past the front edge. Should happily take anything inside of 20 feet. Just a shade inside of 160 meters to go. Oh, just towed that. That left bunker's in play. Who gets lucky, carries it. That's just a quick swing from Song Yi. Got the toe down. Dug it into the turf. Just shut that club face a little. Got away with a bit of an errant one there. That left bunker is unsavory. Now Minji last to play. That's the shot they're all looking to hit. Just land it past the front edge, have it release on. Well played by Park. Im Jin Hee, been a rough day out at Jade Palace as well for the two-time winner this season. She's back at 2 over now. And that is the mark there. She will start Sunday. Around at 76. Im Jin Hee, runner-up last week at the High One Resort. Her chances pretty much evaporated after a frustrating round of 76. Cho Ayan still in the title picture. To stay at 2 under. Again, I like to think it's a general guide, because there's no hard and fast rules in golf, but as a general guide, players within 5 shots of the lead going into Sunday, usually you have to say, still have a chance. You could post a low number, leaders could back up. She's 5 shots back now. At least to keep that status quo. She's 4 shots back now. That's a good up and down. Great finish there for Cho Ayan. It's a 71 today. 2019's Rookie of the Year. She's still got a chance. As does this lady, Jenny Shin. Okay, looked a little wobbly for a second, but safely in the bottom of the jar. It's a second 70 this week for Jenny Shin. 4 under through 54 holes. Now, just Chipping from the left side of this penultimate green is An Song-yi. She's got a slight rise to contend with, about just under halfway between her ball and the hole. If she pitches it into that, but just take a little bit of heat off it, so whether to carry it past that slope or pitch it short and try and run it up that. She's played that to perfection. Superb touch from Song-yi.
죄송한데 이따 촬영하지 말아주세요. 감사합니다.
Kim Soo-ji. I'd like to think she's pretty much guaranteed a spot in the final group with a par here. You know, in the mood that she's in, she's thinking birdie. Tufty looking live for Jun Yi-sung. Played for that to release and just hasn't come out on her the way that she was expecting, so giving herself work to do again to stay in the solo lead. As well, Lee Da-yeon, if she finds a way to make 4 at the last, she's going to be in that final group too. She could be in that final group, I should say. Okay. Oh no, thank you, Pan. Jung Yin-chi and Lee Won already in the clubhouse at 5 under par. I seem to have forgotten about the 2 bogey-free rounds that have been posted already. First in, last out. That's the way grouping goes if you're tied on the same number in professional events. That would mean Yoon-ji and Ye-won would be in that penultimate group. Now, come on, Min-ji. Something's got to start going right. Again, it's been solid from Min-ji. Just hasn't really taken advantage of the good iron shot she's hit. Yeah, a couple of loose swings on the front nine as she was settling into this third round. Back at 2 under. Kim Hyun-hee. Clubhouse couldn't come fast enough for her. She's back at 3 over par now. But that is a wonderful shot into this closing par 5, and she's given herself a chance for birdie. Yi-sung pouring over this. Golf is so much about momentum. She's found the waters a little choppy over the last 45 minutes or so. Did make a nice birdie back at 16. You just want to consolidate that with a solid par at the next hole, and that's exactly what she has in front of her right here. A par putt, opting to leave the flagstick in. Center cup never looked like missing. Very nicely done for Jun Yi-sung. She'll keep herself 1 clear. Soo-ji can stick one in close for the final time on Saturday. It's looking like it's a little left. It's pretty tidy. She's got that for the second 67 of the day. Da-yeon stays so stable over the ball with these shots. Watch how that spine angle never bobs up and down. Much swings around her body. That's a beautiful shot for Lee Da-yeon. That'll be to start Sunday at 5 under par. Something to complete a tidy 4 at 17. Well done. And the final group of the day have reached the 18th tee, and it's our leader who will lead us off. Could be the co-leader if this goes for Kim Soo-ji ahead at the green. She's played beautifully today. She's given herself a chance for a second major title. And it will drop for Kim Soo-ji. A brilliant round of golf, equals the low round of the week, 67. She's booked her place in the final group Sunday afternoon. How many of those fist bumps are we going to see on Sunday in Chuncheon? Soo-ji, she tends to play well in the second half of seasons. All her wins have come towards this part of the year. She's eyeing up a fifth. She starts tomorrow, staring down Jun Yi-sung in that last group. Yeah. Come on, Kim. Been a tough day. But at least she'll end on a positive note. The 4 at the last. And a round of 75 that leaves her 2 over par. Going into tomorrow's final round as the last 3 players in the golf course start to make their way up this beautiful closing par 5. Sew up a place in the penultimate group tomorrow afternoon. Beautiful wedge into this point. And it's going to be a hat-trick of birdies for these ladies on the 18th hole. Good round of 70 will leave Lee Jae-yeon 2 shots back. Share of third. Golfing Jae-yeon and Soo-ji in the penultimate group Saturday. So, just want to poke this one down the fairway. Leave yourself a good yardage in for your third. Wayward there into the left rough. Minji missed the fairway off the tee, so can only choke down on what looks like a 6-iron. Should come out running if she manages to pitch this on the fairway. There it goes. So back in play goes Park, and she'll be disappointed with the way that things have transpired this afternoon for her. Certainly had high expectations coming into the weekend. Still obviously has a chance, but will need something special. She'll need a little help from Jun Yi-sung and Kim Soo-ji and the players in front of her. Song-yi, oh unlucky, doesn't kick back in the fairway, going to tangle itself up in that secondary cutter rough. Coming out of the right side of the fairway, the angle's not quite as good as Jun Yi-sung's in the left rough to that back right pin. ENG will be coming in first. Love to see a hand on a positive note, but just pulls another one left. That's going to just nestle into the back second cut of rough. So she was greedily thinking of that fourth major title coming into today. Well, she's come back down to earth with a rather sombering Saturday. So, although she's coming out of the rough, better angle to work with. Just sort of chop this one out towards the right edge of that left grandstand. And land it halfway up the green. Should come up with a bit of run. Just left the club face open, and it's going to be one final test for Jun Yi-sung. Never won a major title, only has the one win to her resume. The College of the Queen's Crown in 2021. Just the one win as well for An Song-yi. Took her 237 starts to bag her one and only KLPGA Tour title back in the 2019 SK Networks Ladies Classic. That's a pretty well played shot if it just hangs on, which it should. Okay. Yeah, just really no option to go directly at it from that side of the fairway. Final look at that beautiful, iconic waterfall to the right of the ninth green. And there's parity at the top of the leaderboard. Kim Soo-ji and Jun Yi-sung share the lead at 7 under par, but Yi-sung still with the tricky up and down up ahead at the 18th. Place to watch some great golf. The Hanwha Pavilion at the back of 18. Use the bounce here. Easy to just chop the leading edge under the ball and have it right off the top of the club. And oh dear, I think that's exactly what's happened for Chun Hee-sung. Just had no oomph coming out of that rough. Forward momentum, and well, she's led for this entire back nine, and if that one doesn't go, she's going to be trailing going into the final round. ENG slightly below the level of the green, just off the back of the 18th. But the slight uphill I should help her pop this one up pretty quickly. It's been a bit of a tough day for ENG. She's not to be counted out, even though she's probably going to be 5 shots back with just 18 to play. And so he's just kind of hung around all back nine long. A couple of early drop shots, but did pick up a nice birdie back at 16 to get herself back up to 4 under, and should be within 2 going into the closing stretch of this 72-hole tournament. Had the line just lacked a little bit of speed. An important one for Chun Hee-sung. This for par. Needs to be tied with 18 to go, chasing a first major title. And she's up to the task one more time. We have a battle on our hands with 18 holes to go. Suji equals the low round of the day. Chun Hee-sung with a clutch couple of up and downs at 17 and 18 is going to go into the final round at 7 under par as well. How about those two par saves for Chun Hee-sung? ENG for a par. And well hold. It's a day she'd rather forget, though. Disappointing 76, not a single birdie on her scorecard. Still inside the top 10. Strange things can happen in golf. She's within 5 going into Sunday. Sung-yi. Hopefully the final shot of play in this third round. Indeed it is. 73 for the 33-year-old today. She'll head into the final 18, trailing by 3. Well, as day 3 officially draws to a close here at Jade Palace, why don't we reflect on the many highlights of moving day. Let's start with An Sung-yi at the third. Dropped a shot early at the second. Got it straight back with some fine wedge work there at the par 4. Park Min-ji led going into the weekend, but this was a wide wipe to the right at the fourth. Ended up in the tumbleweeds. Had to take a penalty drop. And actually did well to limit the damage to just a bogey 6. And then at 5, An Sung-yi is now tied with Min-ji at 5 under par. She hit the front with that birdie just tickling in over the front edge for a birdie. But it was a two-shot swing of sorts because Min-ji had this for par and it wouldn't go. At the 9th, Min Young-lee, a South Korean who plays mostly on the KLPGA Tour, would find a couple of birdies to turn in 33. And then Jung Yoon-ji at the 8th. She would start to insert herself into the conversation with that nice birdie. All that was happening ahead. Kim Soo-ji would start to get the putter working. That's a birdie at the 7th. And then at the 8th, this was a real bonus for Jun Yi-sung. A long-range effort, took a little victory lap and dropped in. Park Min-ji from a closer spot, well, she 3-stabbed it for a costly bogey 5. At the 9th, Jun Yi-sung would hit the top of the leaderboard. Back-to-back birdies, much like Min Young-lee. She hit it to the back 9 at 7 under par. At the 10th, well, ran the birdie putt well past An Sung-yi. The 3-putt handed Jun Yi-sung a 2-shot cushion. The 2021 champion Lee Da-yeon would start to make her move on the inward stretch. A beautifully holed birdie there at the 11th after taking a 3-putt at 10. And then at 12, another drop shot for An Sung-yi. He was stuck in reverse since she crossed the road and started her way round the back 9. It was full steam ahead though for Kim Soo-ji. Great tee shot into the difficult 13th. That would yield a birdie 2. While that was happening, up at the 18th hole, Lee Won was working on the low round of the day, 5 under par at this point, coming up short with her 3rd at the 18th. A nice little pitch shot and a well-holed putt gave her the clubhouse lead at 5 under par, courtesy of that 67, matching Lee Da-yeon's efforts from Friday. Soo-ji fancied that number as well. Already birdied 13. She would birdie the par 3 15th as well. Got herself to 4 under par for the day. And at 17, Jung Yoon-ji found the fairway bunker off the tee. Just had to play out sideways, and that was a huge par-saving putt that kept her at 5 under. And Sung-yi again, pace control. She struggled with it, putted it almost off the other side of the green, would end up with a 3-putt par. Jun Yi-sung from the back of the green, well, she would 3-putt as well. So too would Park Min-ji. 9 times the putter was used amongst these three ladies on the 15, all suffering bogeys. Jenny Shin had just come off a birdie at 16 before draining this at the 17th. Take her up to 4 under. 16, An Sung-yi hadn't made a birdie in the back nine up to this point, but a beautiful iron shot would change things. Would go on to roll that one in for a birdie 3. Jun Yi-sung, well, she freewheeled it right into the bottom of the cup. That took her out in front by herself once again. Sung-yi would match with a 3 of her own, taking her to 4 under par. Up at the 18th, Suji, with the clubhouse in sight, produced one more fine wedge shot, which gave her a look at a 67. Lee Daeon took it straight over the top of the flagstick. Nice full yardage from 90 meters. Got that one to stick. Kim Soo-ji would can it for the third 67 of the week and a spot in the final group come Sunday. Jun Yi-sung at this for a par at the last, and she will go into the final round chasing a breakthrough major title alongside Kim Soo-ji, last year's Players Player of the Year at 7 under par. It's really set up for a Sunday showdown here at the Hanwha Classic. We do hope you've enjoyed Saturday coverage, and we look forward to the final round and your company tomorrow afternoon. Bye-bye for now.